Tell me about the moment when you got your Michelin star. Under a year.
Even though when it happened, I was like, it was a good surprise to me. Initially, there was no plans for this industry.
Okay.
To be honest, I used to spend a lot of time with my mother
Yeah.
in the kitchen. That's the same paratha I learned from my mother. I put it on my menu as well, one of the restaurant's menus. It sounds very glamorous and good,
Yeah.
but when you get into it, then you will see the reality
Yeah.
check. A lot of restaurants, they tone down the spice level. Indian food is all about the flavors. It should have that kind of kick. Even though, to be honest, I'm blessed. I'm keep getting media attention since I came to UK.
Amazing.
But obviously, after the Michelins and all, it will
Yeah.
give extra boost. So we introduced cauliflower samosa. Gobi used to cook in the tandoor. We made the chutney with the cauliflower. We made the pickle of the cauliflower. You will get cauliflower in a different textures
Yeah.
in the same place. If I am going to India, whenever I get a chance, I always go and try, new street food things. For me, food is all about, the worship. So after spending 25 years now in the industry, I can't live without it.
Welcome back to Social Untold. Hope you're all doing well. Today's guest is someone whose name has become synonymous with excellence in Indian fine dining, not just in London, but around the world. He has helped award winning kitchens, brought Indian flavors to the global stage, and redefined what it makes to cook with heart and heritage. The first Indian chef to get a Michelin star in a record time. Please welcome Chef Rohit Ghai. Hi, Chef. How are you?
I'm very well. Thank you so much considering me for this wonderful opportunity.
We're excited to have you. How are you feeling? Are you excited?
Of course.
Great. So Chef, tell me, where did it all began? Like सब शेफ का कोई ना कोई स्टोरी होता है जो उनका फूड से फर्स्ट इंट्रोडक्शन हो. What is your story?
See, initially there was no plans for this industry,
Okay.
to be honest,
Yeah.
and it's all began from my childhood.
Yeah.
So obviously belongs to the Punjabi family, being the youngest kid in the family.
Yeah.
So after the summer, schools and all during summer holidays, I used to spend a lot of time with my mother
Yeah.
in the kitchen. Obviously, it was like it was the very early days for me. So I never thought I'm gonna be in this industry
Yeah.
moving forward. But I used to make a triangular paratha at home, a miniature, which is very much popular at every Indian household.
Yeah.
So we used to have it. Being Punjabi, used to have my mother. She is a fantastic cook, I would say, and obviously she used to make. Being Punjabi, she used to make heavy breakfast like parathas. Paratha is very
Yeah.
much popular,
Yeah.
especially in the Punjabi families. So she used to make her own homemade butter, a dollop of butter, stuffing, aloo stuffing or paneer or something like that.
Yeah.
So we used to have like that. So paratha was like it's in my brain
Yeah.
from the first day.
Yeah.
So even though still that's the same paratha I learned from my mother, I put it on my menu as well, one of the restaurant's menus. So we used to call choo choo paratha because
Okay.
it's a very basic paratha, but obviously with the ajwain, salt, and a little bit of ghee, she used to make it in a triangular shape with couple of folds and a dollop of homemade butter and just crush it with both hands.
Yeah.
So the flakes straight away come out once you crush it with both the hands.
Yeah.
So that's how I come across with this name chur chur paratha.
Lovely. It reminded me of my grandmother. I used to spend a lot of time with her
It's
in
all
kitchen.
childhood memories,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah, true. So, ऐसा कौन सा time था when you realized, कि this is what I need to do?
Again, like all the Asian Indian parents, they would like to see their kids in the government sectors and all.
Yeah.
So I'm from the math and science background student, so they always ask me. They said, why don't you try for the engineering and all? And I still remember I was doing preparation for 10+2 final exams in India, and I was doing preparation on the side as well, but it couldn't go through in the same year.
Yeah.
Then they said, take a break and start another 1 year. Obviously, you should uh, go for it, do the proper preparations and all these things. So I was looking at the newspapers. That was my routine actually in early days, and then I saw, there was a admission open for the hotel management and all that stuff.
Okay.
So I decided, rather than wasting another year for the preparation,
Yeah.
let's take that route.
Okay.
So how I get into this industry, basically it happened like this, and I have to convince my parents as well.
Yeah.
They said, if you are willing to go for it,
Yeah.
otherwise, it's your call. So we started doing, everything preparation, and obviously it went all on the positive note. So that's how I get into the industry.
Hmm.
Then we started, college and everything. So we used to start in the morning. So the college time was 9 to 5, so where you
Okay.
have to do, like, proper lecture, theory classes, and
Okay.
practical as well every day. So in the initial days, it was quite, tough, because every day you have to stand like 3 4 hours for the preparation, like, the for
Yeah.
the uh, practicals and all that stuff.
Hmm.
So it was like whole day actually.
Yeah.
And then after the college, we went for the industrial training, where we come across the actual life
Hmm.
in the hotel. We got the training, industrial training.
It's like
And
working in the professional
yeah,
kitchens.
and
Okay.
it was like, it sounds very glamorous and good,
Yeah.
but when you get into it, then you will see the reality
Yeah.
check.
Okay.
And then we used to start, like, start in the morning. There's no finish time, so 12 hours, sometimes 13 14 hours.
Wow.
After a few weeks, I had a phone call with my mom, and I told her, the mummy said, you know what, leave it,
छोड़ दो
छोड़ दो,
आ
घर
जाओ
आ जाओ,
वापस
छोड़ो, कहाँ सुबह से 10 12 घंटे खड़े रहते हो, काम
Yeah.
करते हो, कैसे चलेगा. फिर we keep doing it. Then after a month or so, we got a proper shift, like 9 8 hours shift.
Hmm.
But the thing is, there's on the initial side, when you get into the industry, there's no end actually. Even though you can't check the watch, there's no time
Hmm.
limit, nothing. Then after a while, 3 4 months, then I said, you know what, it's really hard. Then went back, took couple of days holidays, went back home, and had a long conversation with the parents.
Hmm.
And obviously, those days the fee was very high. Then we give another thought. I thought, you know what, let's try one more time. Then again went back, and we started rolling, like, started working after finishing the training. Because of the behavior, the hard working things, I've got the opportunity working with one of the biggest organization in the world,
Hmm.
called Oberoi Hotel.
Oh,
And they
nice.
offered me the job.
Yeah.
They said, okay, come and join as a job trainee and start. If everything goes well, then we will consider you as a permanent staff.
Hmm.
And how it happened, basically.
Great.
Then by the time, slowly, I become very much used to, like, standing non-stop 10 12 hours. It was
Yeah.
like, daily routine. Then I used to, ask my mentor, I said, London is my dream city, and what is the best way? I
Yeah.
mean, how can I get there? He said, if you want to go there, you should learn Indian food. Because I started working in the hotel. When you go in the hotel, there's a different cuisine, actually different departments.
Hmm.
So it's not like, the small kitchen, but
Yeah.
it's a massive kitchen, big operations. So every single section, they have their own, chefs and expertise.
Yeah.
So I started working in Western kitchen
Okay.
actually.
Okay.
So till the time he mentioned, he said, Indian. So it was, stuck in my mind. I have to learn Indian.
Indian. Yeah.
I requested him a couple of times. I said, why don't you transfer me in Indian? No, 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 I can't do that, because we are running, with very limited staffing.
Yeah.
Then I convinced him. I said, if I finish my job in my section, and obviously if I wanted to learn Indian or any other cuisine,
Yeah.
can I spend a couple of hours? He said, yeah, yeah, why not? So, after 9 10 hours working in
Yeah.
my section,
Yeah.
I used to spend, because that time I was like, single bachelor, nothing to do.
Yeah.
घर
You had
नहीं है,
enough
कुछ
time.
नहीं है, तो
Yeah.
there was a plenty of time. So I try and utilize that time. So I used to work 3 4 hours in different section to learn different cuisine.
Wow.
So altogether it was like 13 14 hours every day.
Yeah.
Then slowly I grab the I make the proper grip slowly in the Indian section
And then
as
you,
well. Then
yeah.
somehow they start started using me as a reliever in the Indian kitchen as well.
Okay.
Then after a while they decided, okay, he's doing really well in Indian, let's move into
Okay.
proper Indian
Yeah.
kitchen.
So you got what you
So
wanted.
exactly. Then after a couple of years working with Taj Hotel in India, Oberoi's, got the opportunity working in London. So came here, started working with Michelin star kitchen only since I moved to UK, and so that's how it began basically in
Hmm.
London.
Amazing story. Very inspiring. Okay. Tell me one thing. Who cooks at home? Is that someone else's domain or you're the head chef?
At home, to be honest, I hardly spend any time
Okay.
because every day I'm spending like 13 14 hours in central London in my restaurants
Yeah.
only. But obviously somehow if I get a chance, I love to cook. Even though during the COVID time I
Yeah.
cooked a lot,
Yeah.
because that time I started working on my first book,
Yeah.
and obviously the restaurant was not open, so I've done all the R&Ds at home only.
Yeah.
And I cooked. I love cooking actually, but
Hmm.
obviously it's completely depend on my schedule.
Hmm.
If I'm available, I always cook.
Okay. Okay. And when you moved to London, did you felt that cultural shift like in kitchen and in life?
Ac-
कितना डिफरेंस था वहाँ पर किचन इंडिया में किचन में काम करने में एक प्रोफेशनल किचन में और यहाँ पर?
See, Michelin star, even though a standalone restaurant brand, it's completely different than what it used to be actually. Indian kitchen, I mean, the kitchen in India, there was a limitation as well. I still remember we used to have a delivery for the English vegetable, even though in the hotel,
Hmm.
twice a week. And we
Okay.
used to, keep it like, we are handling like diamonds. It was so expensive.
Yeah.
But here there's a lot of varieties,
Hmm.
and especially I love the winter period, where you have a lot of opportunities playing around with the different ingredients, meat. Even though the game is one of my favorite, the game period especially, there's a particular period where people love to have the game range.
Hmm.
So we introduce every winter, I always launch game menu,
Hmm.
so that is for certain period.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
it was a huge difference actually, I would say. But
Hmm.
now, even though after 10 years, 15 years,
Hmm.
London, I mean UK, whatever you are getting in UK, you can easily found in Indian market too.
Hmm.
But obviously there will be a bit difference in the price range.
Hmm.
But
Okay.
in a short way, I would say when I came, it was a huge, I mean, a drastic change for
Hmm.
me.
Okay. Um, if we talk about Indian food, I just feel like कि abroad आते ही उसको इतना simplify कर देते हैं flavors को. I don't know. Is it because of the people who live here, like उनके palate के हिसाब से flavors are, I don't know, cut down. It's not that strong like the spiciness that we would get back in India or Pakistan. We don't get that in
See,
Indian food
it's
here.
completely depend on the clientele, but you are saying the right thing. A lot of restaurants,
Hmm.
they cook the food according to their the clientele, like
Hmm.
according to their taste.
Yeah.
So they tone down the spice level. Even though if you come to my places, you will definitely get, because my more main agenda is to highlight or showcase the Indian food, the culture, the flavors, what we
Hmm.
have. Even though the Indian food is all about the flavors,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's not about, even though a lot of people, they have no idea, but the food has to be a quite balance. When you make it like, when you go to Indian food, representing Indian food,
Hmm.
it should have that kind of kick. It's
Hmm.
not necessary you have to make it spicy, but
Hmm.
obviously it's very on different regions.
Hmm.
So my food, if you try it, people they always say some of them they found spicy.
Hmm.
Even though every day one or few people they always make it, their own comment.
Hmm.
But we always target people like 70-80%, because this is the biggest thing.
Yeah.
You are cooking food, you don't know them, you don't know their taste buds. Every single person has their own
Yeah.
expectation,
Yeah.
different taste buds,
Hmm.
and intake of chilies as well.
Yeah.
So, but obviously, touch wood, more than 90% people are quite happy with our standards.
Hmm.
and they really enjoyed Indian food. And
Yeah.
a lot of people, especially from India, who just come and explore UK, they always make the best comment, the best food they had, even though they couldn't find in India too.
Yeah.
So that kind of balance, the understanding you have to have with the food and the ingredients,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
is quite important.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense. Okay, tell me about the moment when you got your Michelin star. Under a year, I would like to mention that. What was the moment like? What did you feel?
See, as I said previously, since I came to UK, I was like quite, I was lucky enough, got the opportunity handling a Michelin star kitchen. So, every kitchen has their own standards.
Hmm.
Even though when I came to UK, I never heard about Michelin star or never thought I'm gonna open my own places. So the focus was on the work only.
Hmm.
So, when we get used to, even you don't feel, it's quite difficult to handle it. But obviously, from the first day when you straight away when you start following the superiors instructions and moving forward with that all the way, you won't feel difficult. Even though
Okay.
when it happened, I was like, it was a good surprise to me. But from the first day when we opened the restaurant, the full focus on the consistency.
Hmm.
These are the very basic criteria for the Michelin. And obviously, a lot of people, even though a lot of foodies in UK,
Hmm.
uh, they respect your effort as well.
Hmm.
So, the in my understanding, I think the best thing is to follow the consistency. That's the
Hmm.
key factor.
Yeah.
And obviously, a lot of seasonal food, generous menu price point.
Hmm.
That is quite important.
Hmm.
And the restaurants got the Michelin in less than a year time. From the first day, there was a practice. So everyone following the same.
Hmm.
And we never, to be honest, never aimed, never thought we're gonna get the Michelin for the new place
Yeah.
straight away.
Yeah.
But it happened because of a lot of support from the people, and obviously the God blessings was there.
Amazing. Amazing. So, would you say, in your experience, Michelin star is still the gold standard, considering the whole evolving situation in the culinary world?
To be honest, now after a lot of things got changed after the COVID,
Yeah.
but again, it's a good recognition. If
Okay.
you have it, then why not?
Yeah.
And obviously, a lot of people, they still have that kind of craze to go and dine in one of the Michelin star restaurants.
Hmm. True. So, I want to know which dish got you the Michelin star. Is it like
No,
one
it's
dish
not
or is
about
it
dish.
just.
It's basically it's all about their their experience.
Okay.
So, for example, uh, you went to one of the restaurant,
Yeah.
and you you find everything was top notch, food was
Yeah.
good. Then next maybe a day or week or month, you went there for the same thing.
Yeah.
So I'm just giving you idea. Basically, it's all about the consistency.
Okay.
So they will come back. If they are satisfied, they will come back 2 or 3 times to
To
make
try the
sure the
same
food
food.
is
Oh,
consistent.
okay.
So it's not happen. It's never go to one dish.
Yeah.
It will go for the entire experience.
Okay.
So you have to be on your toes all the time.
Yeah.
It's not like it
Yeah.
happened.
It does make
They
sense,
will
huh?
come back, and they do surprise with it.
Oh. So you don't even know when they're coming.
No.
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay. So, did you enjoy all the media attention after you got the Michelin star?
Even though, to be honest, I'm blessed. I'm keep getting media attention since I came to UK. But
Amazing.
obviously, after the Michelin's and all, it happened. It will
Yeah.
give extra boost
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah. Amazing. Okay. I wanted to ask you about the names of your restaurants. It also feels like, there's like a storytelling there because the names are like, Kutir. And so, how do you come up with all the names? Is there a story behind it?
There is actually we have our own SOPs. So basically, it's completely depend on the location. First
Okay.
of all, we have to short the location. So Kutir, for example, like Kutir, it's in the townhouse area.
Yeah.
So all the residential area basically.
Yeah.
There's a shopping street, what you call Kings Road,
Hmm.
but not too far. but obviously the location itself, it's in the townhouse.
Hmm.
And when we saw that location,
Yeah.
then we always had a, like, proper brainstorming with the team and everything. So when we saw the first time that site, straight away it was came in the mind.
That this would
We
be the
should
name.
call Kutir.
Yeah.
Kutir, it's like, home,
Yeah.
small cottage.
Okay.
So that's how things happen, and we always work very close with the interiors, all the team basically,
Yeah.
to put our input as well.
Yeah.
So that we how we work basically. Now we got Manthan. So Manthan happened straight after the COVID, and we was like working on the concept during the COVID period.
Hmm.
So Manthan is all about churning.
Hmm.
So my PR, my team, they also replicate the story with my learnings, my skills
Hmm.
in the culinary.
Yeah.
So they said, okay, this is the best name. We should go for it.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Amazing. Um, okay. Tell me about the menus. Obviously Indian cuisine इतना हमारा बेसिक तो वही है जो हमने बचपन से देखा है,
जी.
right? And we've had all our life. So how do you include that with the innovation that needs to be there in the fine dine? How do you do that? How do you balance both?
See, being in London, been to so many different places, got a lot of exposure as well,
Yeah.
working in different countries. So London is, in my belief, London is one of the biggest foodie hub,
Yeah.
for the foodies, and obviously we London. I chose London because I really want to explore London when I was working in India, because a lot of the big legendary chefs from
Yeah.
London itself, and there's a lot of things. So Banaras, there was a restaurant called Banaras long time back where I started. I was heading that place a couple of years. So we start away, straight away. I used to go to different places to get little, inspiration.
Hmm.
So you have to start working, taking. I always try and take Indian food to the different level as per my capacity.
Hmm.
So rather than being, the very basic example I can give you, the samosa is very much popular in India, even
Yeah.
though everywhere,
Yeah.
right? Everyone knows samosa,
Yeah.
what it is exactly. So rather than taking simple approach, we decided to make, something unique and different. So I love working on different textures, basically.
Okay.
So we introduce cauliflower samosa.
Okay.
So everything with the cauliflower only,
Yeah.
and we got inspired from the dishes pretty much similar to that, but not on the Indian approach.
Hmm.
So we decided to make our own samosa. So the gobi used to cook in the tandoor. You chop it up, make the filling properly, not aloo, not peas.
Yeah.
So we just focus, and it's one of the the hot selling dish at Kutir,
Yeah.
even though outside UK as well. So we started making samosa, basically fried samosa, but in a different approach. And the cauliflower was the main ingredient. So we made the chutney with the cauliflower. We made the pickle of the cauliflower. We made the dehydrated cauliflower with that only. So you will get cauliflower in a different textures
Yeah.
in the same plate.
Okay. Wow.
So that kind of things, once you have that kind of approach, then
Yeah.
you will get ideas automatically.
Yeah.
So different ideas when we decide the menu. Obviously the season we consider, the local produce I consider,
Hmm.
and apart from that, the approach.
Hmm.
So that's how things work.
Yeah. Okay. So I wanted to come to this question. अभी लिटरली कुछ दिन पहले मैं इस बारे में बात कर रही थी. बर्तन का क्या रोल होता है खाने में? लाइक मुझे याद है जब मैं छोटी थी तो मेरी नानी की एक हांडी होती थी और वो उसी में खाना बनाती थी, एंड दैट यूज्ड टू टेस्ट अमेजिंग. लाइक वो टेस्ट मेरी मॉम के खाने में भी नहीं होता था. तो डू यू थिंक बर्तन डज मेक अ डिफरेंस?
ऑफ कोर्स,
It
इवन
does?
दो द पॉट्स, अगर हम ऐसे बात करें इन इंडिया, बैक होम इन इंडिया, लॉट ऑफ there's a different communities, especially the Muslim, they make very nice mutton.
Yeah.
And they, if I'm wrong, please correct me, they use a lot of aluminum pots.
Yeah.
So it's all about the temperature actually. Stainless steel, aluminum,
Hmm.
and brass as well.
Hmm.
So it obviously it does make sense
Hmm.
to use, but obviously in the commercial kitchen, especially here,
Yeah.
for us there's a lot of restrictions as well from the local EHO, the councils and everything. So
Okay.
we prefer a lot of stainless steel, heavy bottom pans to make it.
Okay.
Or otherwise, now we are in London, have nice equipment. Like we always consider slow cooking as well,
Yeah.
overnight cooking in the oven and all.
Okay.
But you are absolutely right. It does make difference.
So does that mean अगर वो पुराने vessels अगर आप use कर पाएँ तो the food would,
Exactly.
oh god,
Even though a lot of people
amazing
now in
flavors.
India, I saw a lot of chefs, they start cooking in the earthenware pots.
Hmm.
Even though in London, the small families, they cook their meal at
Yeah.
home in
Yeah.
the earthenware
Yeah.
pots as well.
Okay. Amazing. Okay. So you have how many restaurants right now?
3 in London, 4 outside UK.
Okay. And how do you manage all that with your personal life?
It's a bit difficult actually, because first of all, there is hardly any social life. Obviously, really want to expand my brand across. So took the opportunities working with again big brands as well. And last year it was the very recent opening actually outside London. I've done it with Obrois in Marrakesh. So the team I have to deploy, I have to train them as well. Sometimes if someone in London, if they wanted to grab this opportunity, because everyone wants to grow in their life.
Yeah.
And I personally believe, rather than hiring people from outside, the people they are working with you, they should get the opportunity
Yeah.
first. So I always open with them, and if they wanted to grab the opportunity and they're willing to take the challenge, I always promote them and send them across.
Amazing. And how is a Sunday at your house? Like, do
Sunday I
you ever?
try and spend with my little ones.
Oh,
Sunday,
amazing.
because
That's good.
yeah, otherwise it's quite difficult,
Yeah.
because Saturday they are off on Saturday, Sunday, because it's school, but Saturday is quite important for me. So I don't know when I take Saturday or Friday off. I never, because I really want to be in the restaurant.
Yeah. Yeah. So
But Sunday I always with a
with the family
try,
and kids. Yeah.
if there's nothing like no urgency or nothing special.
Yeah.
Otherwise, Sunday I always try and spend with
Yeah.
the family.
So have your children ever influenced your cooking?
They actually, during the COVID time, they are my food critics, because while I was cooking, making a lot of dishes for my first book,
Yeah.
they are the one who decide like the flavor, the taste. They had a lot of food at home.
That's great. That's great. Okay. So like we see कि इतना ज़्यादा glamour है around fine dining these days, right? What's the reality of running a business around it?
Nowadays, it's a bit difficult,
It is.
because our industry, I mean, you can see the market, it's completely different now. And everyone is struggling, especially our industry as well. Recently, the price goes up. London became one of the most
Yeah.
expensive
Yeah.
place. So everyone is struggling, I would say. But previously, if I'm talking about 5 years or 10 years back, it was a different league actually.
So you earlier mentioned कि शुरू में when you were starting your career in this industry, you got a bit afraid and you thought कि पता नहीं बहुत होगा, काम नहीं होगा. Did you ever felt after like that period कि I'm stuck, or like what will I do in future, या कुछ समझ नहीं
To be
आ
honest,
रहा?
since I came to UK, I never looked back,
Okay.
because even though I didn't get time to think about it, I was so busy since I came to UK, and then after second, there was a lot of opportunities lined up for me.
Yeah.
So never.
Okay, great. This is good. Okay. तो COVID के बाद did you ever felt कि there's been a lot of change around you, even like cooking को लेके, did your approach changed?
No, actually, after, even though during the COVID time there was a lot of concern from the everyone, because people wanted to have more focus, more healthy diets and
Yeah.
everything. Otherwise, not really. But obviously, you can see the big change after the COVID situation. Even though the spend power goes down, the business literally, lot of big businesses got shut down.
Yeah.
Market, everything has been changed. The rental goes high.
Yeah.
So it was a big impact in the industry actually.
Okay, on a lighter note, tell me, कभी अगर सोशल मीडिया पे आप लोगों को खाना बनाते हुए देखते हैं, आई नो यू वोंट हैव इनफ टाइम टू स्पेंड दैट मच ऑन सोशल मीडिया, बट इफ़ यू एवर सी एनीवन मेकिंग और कुकिंग फूड रॉन्ग, डू यू गेट अनॉयड कि ये क्या कर रहे हैं?
Sometimes, but to be honest, what I would say, sometimes what happened. At least I feel very happy. जिनको नहीं आता है बनाना, at least they are trying,
Trying, yeah.
right? Even though every single day I'm learning, like after spending so many years, I will never say myself I'm the best. I mean, I know each and everything. Every single day you will learn, small things from different people.
Yeah.
So
And you'll improve. Yeah.
there's a room to improve, no?
Yeah.
At least you're considering there's a room you can improve or you can learn new things. So that is the positive side I was always take.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so a little spicy one. What's your take on people who are cooking on TV, but with like women with open hair or men wearing jewelry or women with long nails?
See, there is a proper thing. Even though women's working in my kitchen, they always tied up their hairs and everything, because you
Yeah.
have to take the safety precaution,
Yeah.
because we are working for our guests.
Yeah, true.
And we can't afford to take any kind of negative impact after putting so much hard work.
Yes, yes.
And at the end, if they found some sort of hair or something
Yeah.
in their food, which is
Yeah.
not good.
Yeah.
And to be honest, that has to be done in a proper way, because obviously it's all about the hygiene standards in your kitchen.
True. Yeah.
So there's nothing wrong with it, unless until if you can handle yourself. I mean, the hairs and everything, long hairs and all, I don't mind. But we always have all the safety precautions. We always keep it at the place in the restaurant. So I prefer to, even though nails, the grooming standard has to be there.
Yeah.
It's quite important.
Yeah.
It's all about your personal hygiene.
Exactly. And even like sometimes when I see people जो TV पर खाना बना रहे हैं, and okay, fine, you're celebrities or whatever, but if you have got
They
a
should
bloater,
follow the
please,
same, actually.
yeah,
They
please
should.
tie your hair, because a lot of people are watching you on the TV, right? So
Exactly.
you're setting an example.
Yeah.
And if young children are looking at you कि अच्छा ठीक है, cooking करना है, if they're aspiring to be someone like you, तो वो आपको दिखाना पड़ेगा कि
Even though
standards क्या हैं.
That's how we learn, because in the college, this is your basic things.
Yeah.
You have to maintain it all the way.
Yeah, exactly. I find it very cringy जब मैं ऐसे लोगों को देखती हूँ TV में, like please बाल तो बांध लो. Okay, थोड़े से लाइट नोट क्वेश्चंस पे आते हैं. हैव यू एवर ट्राइड दोज वाइल्ड फूड ट्रेंड्स जो सोशल मीडिया पे बहुत ज़्यादा चल रहे हैं? लाइक आई हैव सीन दिस थिंग कॉल्ड ओरियो पकोड़े, and I don't know, Fanta Maggie. Have you ever seen
To be
those?
honest, I never shy away, try out new things, but like sounds weird to me.
Yeah.
I don't prefer, to be
Yeah.
honest. But if something interesting, it sounds interesting to me,
Yeah.
I always go and try it. We also do, but not like Fanta Maggie and all these things.
Yeah.
We can't, even though we can't afford in the restaurants.
I mean, that sounds horrible, Fanta Maggie. But yeah, okay. The craziest flavor combo that surprisingly worked in your kitchen.
There's a lot, actually. Even though papaya, I don't like papaya. But I made a lot of different things from raw papaya, not
Okay.
the ripe one.
Okay.
Still, I don't like the ripe papaya.
Yeah.
But I try and discover a lot of things. Even though there's a small thing, the raw turmeric, the baby turmeric.
Okay.
Basically, I was trying a couple of things long time back in the UK market.
Yeah.
So I take a small piece of that and I tried myself. So the flavor, the baby turmeric root, basically it's white in color, and when you take a bite, it will give you raw mango flavor.
Okay.
So I try and utilize. It sounds unique when you mention white turmeric or mango turmeric.
Mango, yeah.
Something.
Yeah.
So it's all about the age factor, actually. It's really, when it's really baby, the small roots, you
Yeah.
will find very tiny, small. It look like a ginger.
Okay.
But when you try and put it, I start using in the stuffings of something like, meat stuffing or vegetarian stuffing, chop it up, mix. It
To
will
give
give you a
that
glimpse
raw
of
mango
raw
flavor,
mango
yeah.
taste.
Okay.
So I've done a couple of, different experiments.
Yeah.
So that works really
Okay.
well.
Amazing. Okay. Chef, tell me, what is the difference in taste and vibe of fine dining and a street food? Because I just feel like कि जो street food होता है वो अगर हम उसका hygiene वगैरह सब निकाल दें तो it's very flavorful. Why is that?
See, it's not about in my opinion, I think the street food is more focused on the bold flavors, rustic flavors. Fine dining, it's more presentable, more balanced flavor and all.
Okay.
And a lot of people, obviously, even though if I am going to India, whenever I get a chance, I always go and try new street food things. So there's a
Yeah.
big difference between street food because it's casually served. You can't pre-plate it nicely, but obviously the fine dining approach, people they always go for their special occasions or to celebrate
Yeah.
a memories or good moment. So you have to make a slightly more luxurious side. I would say more fine dining, more balanced diet.
And balance the flavors out.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, makes sense. Yeah. Okay. Tell me if there's any one comfort food that you can have for the rest of your life. What
I
would that
can
be?
eat, my favorite is whenever my mother makes makke ki roti and sarson ka saag. That's obviously from our, from our roots from
Yeah.
Punjab.
Yeah.
Or otherwise, yellow dal or rice, because rice and lentil is very comfort,
Yeah.
staple food in India.
Yeah.
So I prefer, all these things.
Okay, we'll come back to a section जिसमें हमने online अपने social media पे अपने audience से पूछे कुछ questions and they've given us a few that they want to ask you.
Of
ठीक है?
course.
The first one is cooking is not a gender role, but many of the world's top chefs are men. Why do you think that is, and do you see the balance shifting?
If you ask me honestly, I think it's all about, even though in Europe, I can see a lot of females working in the kitchen. They started working, even
Okay.
though, but previously when we started our career in hotel, I saw what I personally saw a lot of women's. They are working still in the kitchen, but on the pastry side because of the
Okay.
the heavy skillet we used to have
Yeah.
it, making big numbers like bulk cooking and all these things just because of that. But obviously in UK, I didn't find any difference, to be honest.
Okay.
A lot of chefs they are taking, maybe in the initial time, as I said in my story, it was really hard to when you start your career from the
Yeah.
scratch. So that could be the reason, but otherwise the women are everywhere nowadays, to be honest, even though they are working very hard in the kitchen as well.
Okay, great. What advice do you have for chefs trying to bring their regional cuisine to the global stage?
See, always Indian food scene is completely different because the clientele you will find it's you know it's a mixed clientele. And secondly, even though in my restaurant I never highlight like focus only on one region of India. Always try to make it proper balance between all the regions.
Yeah.
Because in Europe you will have mixed clientele.
Yeah.
So some of them they wanted to have some sort of velvety or balance, or some people you will find they wanted to have their North Indian spicy sort of food. So even though the journey in Indian food, especially in India, wherever you move in India, you will see a big difference between the ingredients, the cooking techniques.
Yes, of course.
So it's wide. Country, and wherever you move, you will find a different taste.
Yeah, true.
So that's how we make the menu to consider to making more welcoming everyone. So they will have at least couple of choices on the menu. So I would say rather than focus on one reason, they should come up with some sort of depth of the Indian food from all the region.
Yeah.
All the different regions, so people they at least they will have more varieties and they will enjoy much.
Okay. I think I might know the answer for this, but I'll still ask you. Emotion versus technique. What do you think makes a dish truly memorable?
The emotions.
Emotions, right? Yeah.
Because my mother, she always said, if you make food with your heart and soul,
Yeah.
even though I mentioned so many times in my articles as well, so the food turns up outstanding.
Yeah, you have to be passionate about
Exactly.
your whatever you're
Passionate and
cooking.
whatever
Yeah.
वो कहते हैं दिल से आप बनाओगे
Yeah,
तो
yeah.
उसमें एक्स्ट्रा प्यार होता है,
Yeah.
एक्स्ट्रा केयर है.
Yeah, true.
So that's how things work.
Yeah. Um, Tell us about your best cooking experience ever, one that stayed with you.
Wow. I mean, every day, local or outside UK, or when I cook for the Indian Prime Minister, Mr. Modi.
Oh, yeah, that would be amazing.
Even though I cooked for a lot of celebrities in London, but that was something different.
Yeah. Okay, great. Have you ever completely failed at a dish in front of someone important? I hope
Touch
not.
wood, not.
Yeah, good. Great. Um, of all your recipes, which one do you love the most? And was that the one that entered you for the Michelin? So that's not a valid question. So which one do you love the most?
See, I've got a couple of signature recipes across my uh, other outlets as well,
Hmm.
but it's very difficult because when I create the recipe, when we do something, you have to put extra effort,
Yeah.
so it's quite difficult for me to answer it.
Yeah.
But in London, I would say, for the non-vegetarian people, they love my prawn gadi masala, and it's all the restaurant have the same recipe in London.
Okay.
And on the vegetarian side, I mentioned it, cauliflower samosa. Even
Yeah.
though recently for the new place, we made it indori poha ka chaat. That is very simple recipe,
Okay.
but we innovate in a different way.
Hmm.
Otherwise, it's very street food all the way from
Hmm.
MP,
Yeah.
Indore. But to present in the restaurant, you have to put extra effort, and
Hmm.
that's going really well.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, they always appreciate
Okay.
that effort.
Yeah.
And I've got another one which is called shami kebab. I used to have it in Delhi, actually old Delhi,
Yeah.
behind the masjid mosque. There's a small Muslim community still. They still have that small vendors. They keep making it ulte tawe ka paratha, shami kebab,
Oh, I've
and
heard about
bornado
all that.
sauce. So I try and replicate, but
Yeah.
rather than serving with ulte tawe ka paratha, I prefer my choo choo
Choo choo
paratha with
paratha.
that.
Yeah. Okay. And finally, where do you see Indian fine dining evolving over the next 10 years?
I think Indian food has lot of potential and future. Obviously, it's very well regarded across the globe, not
Hmm.
about Europe.
Yeah.
If we nail it in the right way, they always are, there's a lot of people, they always appreciate your effort.
Hmm.
And I think we should carry the same standard, or maybe uplift, take it onto a different level.
Yeah.
And I don't find any difficulties, to be honest, even in future. Even though a lot of chefs, they keep coming, the young chefs, they
Hmm.
are bringing their own expertise. So still Indian
Yeah.
food is on a very high demand, I believe.
And I feel it's just going to stay forever because of the
Exactly.
spices and everything. It's just at a different level.
No one, I don't believe, even though we used to have Indian food every single day, even though till now.
Yeah.
So you can't get fed up with
Yeah.
Indian food.
You can't.
There's
Yeah.
lot of depth of
Yeah.
flavors or different approaches.
True. True. Okay. Chef, tell me, what would you tell the young chefs who are passionate to join the industry? What if they feel lost at some point? What advice can you give them?
See, if they are entering it, obviously they have to be more patient,
Hmm.
and they have to work really hard.
Yeah.
But now, previously, I mean, in India, there was a only option for the beginners, the hotel industry.
Hmm.
Because when we started our career, if you are taking the approach working with a standalone restaurant, then you won't get anything, to be
Hmm.
honest.
Hmm.
Even though all the doors will be closed,
Yeah.
because the hotel experience was more important.
Yeah.
But now, even though l- now I can see a lot of big restaurants, even standalone restaurants,
Hmm.
they are in trend, they are doing really well. But obviously, all the the projects or the concepts, they need hard work.
Hmm.
So I would say they have to be patient and wait for the right opportunity.
Hmm. And uh, would you tell them if like how to stay grounded once you have achieved the success?
See, it's completely depend on the person. But
True
I would
that.
always say, be calm, always, try and give your effort, share your knowledge with others,
Yeah.
and just stay, you know, down to earth. It's simple
Stay
as that,
humble.
if
Yeah.
possible.
Yeah. If possible, yes. Okay. Can you tell us more about your book? We have it here.
Yeah,
Can you
so
tell our audience more about
this
it,
is the
please?
second one, Yatra. It's been launched last week actually,
Ah, there.
and this book basically it's mainly focused on my journey. I worked in different regions of India,
Yeah.
so I chose to take the approach of different regions of people, like my guests, my followers, they can enjoy
Hmm.
cooking different regions of India at their
Hmm.
home
Yeah.
with all these recipes. So it altogether it got 240 40 pages book
Okay.
with a lot of techniques, different recipes, including breakfast, for lunch, dinner, even though there's a few different kind of breads as well.
Yeah.
So a lot of things. It has a lot of potential,
Yeah.
and it's quite easy to make it as well at home. A very simple techniques,
Okay.
but obviously if someone if anyone follow the instructions,
Hmm. So it's easy
and they
to.
can achieve
Yeah.
it at
Okay.
home.
Okay. Amazing. Yeah. Looking at the pictures, I'm feeling hungry now. Okay. So you were also talking about your work with Audi. Can you tell our viewers more about that?
A couple of years back, they actually I started working doing my online master classes.
Hmm.
Especially it got hit during the COVID time,
Hmm.
because everyone they are spending a lot of time at home
Yeah.
only, and there was nothing to do.
Yeah.
So then I decided to start working doing live master classes.
Hmm.
So they also came across because they wanted to do an event with me online for their customers, for
Okay.
their team building exercises as well.
Okay.
So then how we got connected, basically after the session, they offered me the brand ambassador for Audi Europe.
Hmm.
And I think we just straight away, it was a bit shocking to me, because never worked with any automobile company
Yeah.
or anything. So it was a different approach.
Hmm.
Then I had a couple of questions. I asked them, and they said, you know what, you just need to, we have to work together for a couple of occasions,
Yeah.
and that's it. And I appreciate their effort, their approach as well.
Hmm.
And I was looking to do some sort of partnership with a good brand,
Yeah.
and Audi is it's top notch anyway.
Yeah.
So that how we start working. It's been 3-4 years now. I'm
Okay.
working with them. Yeah.
Okay. Amazing.
They
Okay.
recently launched their new range of SQ5 with me at Marrakesh last month.
Oh, nice. Wow. Yeah, I don't know much about cars, but my team does.
All right.
So, Chef, before we wrap up for the day,
Yeah.
why don't you tell our audience what does food mean to you? Like after working all these years in different kitchens, in different countries, what does food mean to you?
See, it's all about, for me it's a worship, to be
Hmm.
honest, because after spending 25 years now in the industry and achieved so many things, and obviously there is a madness, I would say, or passion, whatever you consider.
Hmm.
So for me, food is all about the worship,
Hmm.
and I can't live without it.
Great. Amazing.
Thank you.
I love that answer. Thank you so much for sharing your journey with us, Chef.
No problem
It
at
was
all.
amazing having you and it was very insightful. Uh, Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for watching today's episode. And if you like it, please subscribe, leave us a comment, and share it with your friends who you think need a little flavor in their life. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye.